you don't want to offend their pride. It's pointless.
Sorry, what? But
hold on a second. Hold on a second. I wanted to put you at a slightly different point, which was you read the Michael Gove interview with Donald Trump, in which he said NATO was obsolete, and he'd certainly look at getting rid of the alliance. Can we come to the NATO point, China as well, if you want?
Yeah.
But is it a more dangerous place?
Well, my immediate reaction to what Lionel said is actually one of the reasons Trump's got elected is precisely because he will stand up to China and he will say, I don't agree with you. And he's going to reinforce American power, which is why a lot of Americans like him and voted for him. In relation to NATO, he said that the structure of NATO is obsolete. Well, why did Donald Trump say that? Well, because as President of the United States, as from tomorrow, he looked at the maths. 72% of all the spending of NATO is consumed by the Americans. Right? Of the other 27 members of NATO, only 4 countries pay their 2% of GDP towards NATO. 4. We're one of them. But that means that 23 other countries do not pay what they should pay. And Donald Trump's a business guy. And he's looked back and gone, hang on, why are we doing all the work? Why are we paying all the money? Where's the contribution from all these people who, the moment they have any trouble, they come to the Americans and ask us to help? So he's looking at it as an obsolete structure that needs to be dragged kicking and screaming into a better deal for America.
And Katsi's question about whether it's more dangerous, a more dangerous place for
I don't think so. Again, I would come back to what is Trump at his heart. You know, I've known him a long time, 10 years, and I keep being told I have to call him a monster every 5 minutes because that's what the lemmings of the world have all agreed. He's a monster. He's not a monster. He's not an angel. He's not a monster. He's a very smart business guy who has consistently proven people wrong, both at the early stage of his campaign, then he won the nomination when no one said he could, then he beat Hillary Clinton. I think we underestimate him at our peril. I think he will not look at warfare as a good deal. I think he will look upon it as a massive drain on America's resources. And Trump knows that all he has to do to go down as a great, successful president and very popular, if he pulls it off, is get American jobs back to Americans from outside America, from the outsourcing that has wrecked the Rust Belt states of America. He's got to keep America safe. He's got to tighten up immigration and deliver on the things that were the core messages that propelled him to the White House. If he can do that, and I don't think he's going to be declaring war in the way that Hillary Clinton might have done, because she was one of the great hawks of modern times in America. So I say to people about Trump this: give him a chance. You know, you don't have to like him. You can be offended by some of the things he says. He shoots from a hip. He says what he's thinking. Sometimes he goes over the top. But give the guy a chance and judge him on his actions, and you might be pleasantly surprised.
Thank you.
Donald Trump wants to continue with NATO. He just does not want America to continue paying an irrationally high amount of money to support everybody else.
And what we have to do, I think, as Britain, we are Americans' closest and longest-standing friend. We are actually in a position of some power and some authority and influence. And I think that we need to have a Prime Minister who is prepared to say, when it is necessary, no, Mr. President, that's wrong.
Yeah, but also, Emily, what about this? Donald Trump is half British. You know, I've talked to him many times about his British roots. His mum was born and raised in Scotland till she was 18. He loves this country. His mother loved the Queen, absolutely loved the Queen. If I'm Britain right now, coming out of the European Union, and our biggest exporters, the biggest purchaser of our exports in the world after the EU is America, and we've got Donald Trump saying, I'm half British, I'm the most powerful man in the world, I want a deal. We should be tearing the roof down
and we
to
should
get him.
OK, enough.
What do your Muslim friends think of your staunch defence of
No,
Trump?
we don't want Piers anymore for the moment. We can have him again.
Leave it hanging like that.
Yes.
I wrote a column attacking him.
I've seen
I wrote
your
a column
columns.
attacking
They're
him.
not attacks, Piers. You know, when you butter him up by please just be a little nicer, it's not an attack. It's just a nice little love letter to say you've been a little naughty.
Well, actually, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said the Muslim ban was an outrage, and he had to withdraw it. And guess what? Trump has withdrawn that, and has now said he wants to have tighter controls on people coming from terror countries. So I did.
Where I